So you're ready to hire for your team, and you think to yourself, how different does a remote job description need to look compared to something I would have posted a year ago? So some points to consider when writing the job spec. Remote employees can work from anywhere, but do you really want them to be from everywhere? The example I talk about with Hum is that most of our clients are in the Eastern time zone. And with a large gap between our colleagues in Europe and Asia, we knew that we couldn't easily add somebody to the mix from the Mountain or Pacific time zone. We were clear in the posting that the roles would require regular meetings between 9 and 1 Eastern, which are our core business hours, in order to maximize the overlap in the other time zones. We didn't filter out applications from the Western time zones, but we were explicit in the interviews about our expectation for regular working hours. If someone is an early bird or could benefit from early hours, we didn't want to preclude the right person from being hired just because they lived west of the Mississippi. But just something to keep in mind as you're trying to struggle to get everybody to get scheduled into the same meetings together is making sure that they're close enough or can work asynchronously if that's important to your organization as well. Here's a cautionary tale to show that even I make mistakes along the way. At Hum, we recently hired 2 new roles, a business analyst and a director of business development. Both are fairly generic titles which carry over multiple industries, so we tried to make our job description and the explanation of the company really robust, enough to attract top candidates who were actually good fits for the role, not just clickbait applying because of the title. For the business analyst role, we had over 500 applications in 7 days, which was overwhelming to say the least. Because our search was not centered around our particular metropolitan region, it garnered a lot more attention than we had anticipated. When we do a search in the future for a similar role, we'll certainly need to rethink how we're attracting people through those job search portals. And one of the things that we'll be doing is adding additional screening questions and narrowing down to a more descriptive job title that might be more particularly suited for our industry. Other considerations: before you open a role up to international applicants, you should talk to your finance team to see if there are legal or tax implications of having employees outside the United States and if that's something that your organization is willing to take on. At Hum, we have several team members and collaborators in Europe and Asia, but on paper they're contractors because it was financially and legally less messy for the company and the employee to process it that way. Our aim is, of course, to hire in the U.S., but to give our current employees the flexibility to travel and live where they need to, which is part of the appeal of remote work. And when you can hire from anywhere, how do you know what makes a competitive salary for someone from Buffalo versus Phoenix, and how do you make those decisions when hiring? There's a couple of ways to approach this. You could, if you have a hub or a home office, you could center your salary offers around that market. That makes the most sense if you intend to continue to grow your team from the local talent pool and expect people to rotate in and out of the office. Or if you're a more disparate team, you could use national salary averages from sites like LinkedIn or Glassdoor. At Hum, we take the latter approach. Even though we have a small hub of people in Charlottesville, Virginia, as we grow the team, we'll be adding from other zip codes and want to compensate people on the same scale. We're upfront about those salary figures. They're always included in the job postings, so there's no surprises further down the line.